Hey viewers, my name's Kara and I'm going to be doing a couple video responses to Brendan's chain video question experiment thing. This one is going to be a response to his video, and I think I'm also allowed to respond to someone else's response because I'm not going to be responding to a response to my video. There has to be at least 2 videos between your own. So like, I'm going to pose a question at the end of this video of my own, and then if someone else answers that, I can't answer their question. But I think I'm allowed to do this one and respond to someone else who already responded to his question. So I'm gonna do 2. You can watch Brendan's video to find out more of what it's about, but yeah, basically you answer someone's question and then you pose your own at the end. So Brendan's initial question was about the characters in the Major Arcana in Tarot and who we would be. If we were one of the characters, who we would be, and how we would interact with the Fool if we are not the Fool. I am not very big into tarot yet. I've kind of just started really getting into it this past year. I'm an oracle card reader. I've had an oracle deck for the past several years that I work with, and I recently got another oracle deck that I picked up pretty quickly. I mean, I'm still reading out of the book, but it was quicker for me to get. And there's just so much involved with tarot. So really, I've only gotten through the Major Arcana, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the characters that I think I resonate with right now. On the one hand, I absolutely do think I am the Fool, not in the way that I'm about to walk off a cliff because I'm not paying any attention to what's going on around me, but in the way that I'm definitely going through this journey and I'm only at the beginning, and I'm a little beyond the beginning, but I know that I don't know everything in the world yet, and so I very much feel that I am going on this journey as all of us are. So I am the Fool in the way that everyone is the Fool, and that's the whole point. And I like seeing what different cards use as depictions, so I'm going to show you some of mine. This is the teeny tiny running press tarot kit that you can buy like at Barnes & Noble, and so this is that illustration for the Fool. He's riding a cat, so there's no dog in this one, but he still has the little... Oh yeah, and you can see my notes on there in Sharpie. This is one of my learning decks, so I have notes on there. This is from the Mind, Body, Spirit Tarot. I have notes on there as well, but he's a jester in this one, just kind of doing a funky pose. And then I also have a Celtic Tarot, which I haven't started working with yet, except to look at the cards. And so this one does have dogs. There are dog depictions on the sides there, and his little knapsack, and he's smelling a rose, so there definitely is the depiction in these 2 of taking time to smell the flowers, which is one of the lessons from the Fool that I got. But if I am not the Fool, there are a couple characters that I feel I resonate with at different times, and so right now, with the issues that I've been going through recently and just the things I've been thinking about, I have 3 here to talk to you about. The first one is the Magician. The Magician, to me, when I was going through and doing my notes on the Mind, Body, Spirit cards, I was using a little kind of booklet about the tarot that my mother gave me. My mom reads tarot, and so I'm actually going to request that she do a video response to this as well because I would love to hear her answers. But I was using a little booklet she gave me, and what I got from that was basically the first couple cards in the Major Arcana are the same as the Witch's Pyramid. The Magician represents will. That's the depiction in this one, which is one of the old depictions, I guess. I was doing some reading about it, and when they used to make it look like kind of a juggler and he had sort of everyday magic trick type stuff, that was the way that they used to depict the Magician. And in the Celtic Tarot, this is another way that they commonly depict it now. This is more of a newer way where he actually has tools of power and it looks very mystical and magical. And I love this one because the 6-pointed star has become actually a whole lot more relevant in my practice than it ever used to. And then I love this one because the lesson in this book was that the Magician is about testing your limits and daring to succeed, and it's a rabbit, so that reminded me of the tortoise and the hare. And the hare's plan basically was just to go for it. So that's what this card represents to me. And so the Magician has the tools, whether they look like, stage tools or whether they look like real powerful magic tools, which of course everything really is. The Magician has the tools to make things happen, and he just needs to do it. I definitely feel like that at times, and I think that's what this character would tell the Fool as well. You have everything ready, why don't you use it? And that brings me into the next card that I feel kind of goes with me right now, which is the High Priestess, which is the card that Ariander picked. the High Priestess in the Mind, Body, Spirit deck is Juno. And she represents knowledge and seeking truth and learning everything that you can, and this is her depiction in the Celtic. This one is very much like she has knowledge of mysteries, and there's just a lot going on with the moon symbolism and just very, very much what you would think a Celtic High Priestess would be. And then this one, she's got the moon, which to me represents intuition and emotion and all those types of things, and she also has pomegranates. So this card to me is about knowledge and seeking understanding and just learning all that you can, which is completely what I'm about all the time. You guys know that by now. And I think she would tell the Fool just not to rush, take your time, which is exactly what I tell people all the time and is also the advice that I give myself. And I should actually say now that when Brendan said how would these characters interact with the Fool, that confused me a little bit because I always thought that the idea of the Fool going on this journey through the tarot was just about the fact that the Fool becomes each of these characters in turn as he learns lessons. I never really thought about it as the fact of like, here's the Fool and he's going along and then he meets the Magician and learns lessons from him and then continues on and learns from the High Priestess, etc. So I'm coming at it with a little bit of a different perspective, but I think that's what a person in the position of the High Priestess would tell a person in the position of the Fool just starting out, which is how I feel that I relate to a lot of people who ask me from here. So that's where those come from. And then the last one was kind of a joke, but turned out to be completely accurate. I like to spend a lot of time alone and in my room, so when I used to live with my mother and her husband, he would always call me a hermit. He just always referred to me as the hermit in my little hermit cave, and so jokingly I was thinking, oh, I'm the hermit. But yeah, I kind of am the hermit. Because the hermit kind of goes his own way and seeks his own truth, and he's always seeking the light of truth. But he also takes the time to guide others who are on their path. And I very much feel that that is my position, and I like to make that my position. I want to be on my own journey, but I also want to help others. I don't want to be so much a hermit that it's just about me right now, because right now I do also need to interact with other people. But just to show you, this one is more of a hermit crab type look. He's got a little shell. There's not a whole lot else to that I can really, oh, the dog's barking, except that he brings his house with him, which is a Shakespeare quote about a snail. I think it's from As You Like It. Yes. This one is a more traditional depiction. He has his lantern and his cane. Prudence, caution, and deliberation are the notes up there. And then the Celtic depiction is really cool as well. And he has, I think, yeah, it's more of an oil lamp in this depiction than a lantern. So those are the characters that I feel I really resonate with right now, I guess. And before I end this video and ask my question, I actually want to address Ariender's question real quick. I'm not going to respond to her video, but just really quickly, she asked about if we could make an incense blend right now, what would it be? What would we put in it, and what would it be used for, and basically why would we make it, for the magical properties or for something else. And I want to address this here because I was doing the notes for it, and it kind of actually goes along with what I just said about my tarot characters. At the time that I watched Ariender's video, my answer was that I would make an incense blend using chamomile, sage, and lavender, and if I go downstairs and look at what else I have, something else that would be like a scent that calms me that may also be used for protection. And so it would be a blend for calming and relaxation and just like feeling safe and relaxed and just great. Sorry, people just came through the door, so I don't really remember where I was. But it would be for calming and protection type stuff. And I don't actually make incense blends very often. I have a lot of herbs, thanks to my mother, and I use them separately, but I've never really sat down and made a blend to use, and so this just reminds me of the whole tarot situation, because Magician, I have the tools. High Priestess, I have the knowledge of like what all the herbs I have are for and how I could put them together. I just haven't broken through into the Empress to actually daring to take action and do it. So that's it for my answers for this video, and I'm gonna ask a question. What was my question? Oh, the question I wanted to ask for this video is, whether concerning your religious, spiritual, magical life, or if you just want to talk about life in general, if maybe you're someone who's not necessarily into all the magical stuff but wants to participate. My question is, what do you think is the skill that you have developed the most, or that you just picked up the most quickly? Like, what is your best skill area? And what is the one thing that maybe you'll pick it up later on, but so far it just really seems to elude you? So what is your best skill, and what is the skill that you just feel like you're never gonna get it no matter how hard you try? You might get it in the future, but right now you just feel like you won't, because I'm definitely in that situation. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'm gonna go make my other video response now so you can watch that one as well. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.